Kevin McCarthy's job is getting Republicans to vote in line, but that job has becoming increasingly difficult over the national debt and taxes. Congressman Kevin McCarthy joining us live in our newsroom this morning to talk about that and other hot topics up on Capitol Hill. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Bloomberg Business says you're warning colleagues that inaction over the debt is not a viable option, and the country must, in fact, raise the debt ceiling, which kind of makes you an odd man out on Capitol Hill. They say you're subtle, but you've been making that pitch. What does it sound like?
Well, one thing we've been doing, we've been listening to members of our conference, and what we're going is, it's like taking over a business, and they made a lot of mismanagement, and you need to refinance the structure to be able to go on the right path. We've hit our debt limit. These are all obligations other people have made. We can't continue down the same path. So we sat and we met with the president last week, and I told him, you have to have some cuts right now. You have to put caps in so we can't get back to this mess again, and we have to have some form of entitlement reform. If we're able to get to this point, we could find our way where we can increase the debt limit because we'll never come back to this again. But if the president just wants to increase it straight across, we already voted that down. That's not going to happen.
And Congressman, you're talking about kind of coming to a central point, a compromise, if you will. But there are people out there are people in the Tea Party and hardline fiscal conservatives who under no circumstances want to see that debt limit increased. So what do you say to those folks? There's a lot of them probably watching this morning.
Well, unfortunately, if that happens, the way the federal government works is a day-to-day cash flow. If the federal government takes 70% of their money in and they have 100%, they pay nothing. That means Social Security won't be paid. Nothing will get paid in the press. I believe that we can have fundamental change and put this country on the right path, but we have to make real cuts. Government cannot be spending the way they're spending. They cannot continue down the same path. And the president has to release a plan that actually fundamentally change. If not, we will change it for him, and that's what we're going to do.
All right, let's talk about what we're talking about the presidency. 2012, we just mentioned Alaska's releasing 24,000 emails from Sarah Palin during her tenure as governor. What's the fascination do you think this country has with Sarah Palin, and do you think she's a viable candidate if she should run?
I think she's viable. She does a bus tour out there. People show up. But, I mean, I think there's more excitement inside the media to go after. I haven't heard of any other governors that had to release their emails in the process. It's almost an fascination of every little thing that she does. I think there's going to be a lot of individuals who run, a lot of opportunity, and I think this campaign is going to be a little longer than people think.
One person that's actually already in the running we should talk about is Newt Gingrich, which is kind of an interesting thing. There was a mass exodus from his campaign staff and his management of his campaign yesterday. You're going to be talking, I guess, right this weekend in L.A. At an event he's going to be appearing at?
Sunday. I was just reading where Newt had a very bad day yesterday where his staff all quit on him, and he said he's going to start his campaign anew at a speech Sunday night. I'm at the same event speaking right before him, so it'll be interesting to hear and see how he starts his campaign anew. It hasn't started off very well. It's in a tough situation, and when you're running for president, all the eyes are on you. You can't have 3 or 4 new entrances into the campaign and think you're going to make it.
It's going to be an interesting race, 2012. Congressman Kevin McCarthy, and a lot also, what you say is probably the biggest vote when we're talking about that debt ceiling. That's also upcoming as well. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for